Okay guys, I'm going to be working on the off-road lawnmower today, and you see you got it jacked up, and we got a little problem here. I was driving it the other day, and I went into the mud pit like this because I wanted to kind of do some hill climbing, a little bit of hill climbing, but anyway, I hit it hard in at first, and I actually did a little bit of damage to my front end. You can see that this wheel is perfectly straight, square, with the frame, and then look at this side. You see we obviously have a little bit of toe out going on, so you can see actually on this side how bad the tie rod is. If you look down here, you see how bad it's just bent. So I gotta reinforce everything up here. Also gotta reinforce the front end here, just because the only thing holding it from pivoting is these two bolts that go all the way through. But I'm gonna do some welding and put some braces here, maybe even put a brace right through there. But this is pretty strong anyway. But I need to make a good steering stop too, because even if you hit just a little puny stump, this whole wheel just does that. So I need to strengthen this whole front end. So what I'm going to do is take the tires off, take the tie rod off, and get that out, first straighten it out, and then I'll figure out how to get a steel rod over that. Alright, I got the tie rod up on my workbench, and yeah, that's pretty bent. Yeah, I'm going to try and straighten this thing out in the vise and just, I don't know, get it nice and straight, and then I'll cut one of the ends off because that's the only way I can get a tubing on there. And then I'll probably put some of that piping over there. See, I got some small stuff over there. Might fit, I'm not sure. If anything, it's going to be too big, so yeah, I'm going to try and straighten this out in the vise. Got it straightened out here, and I also got it in the tube, and I grinded down this part right here, and then welded in the hole that I grinded out. I got it welded on the sides, and I also got that little piece welded back on there since I had to cut it off to get this tube on. It was actually really hard to get on. Get the tube through this, or get the steering rod through the tube, because there was dirt packed in it. And as I was pounding it through here, on the other side, just out came the little chunks of dirt, and it took forever. So yeah, at least all the dirt's out of it now. But yeah, I put it on the tractor. It fits. It's really strong. I can just feel it in my hand. It's heavy, and I can tell it's not going to bend. So now I just got to put it back on the tractor, and we're going to see if we can start bracing up this stuff in the front so that doesn't bend in the future. Okay, you can see I got all this stuff welded up in here. Everything that meets it is all welded up. I welded this bolt here, make a steering stop. That I'm gonna cut off. It was too thin a metal that I welded on there. A little pipe like that. It started melting through, so I might cut it off, might leave it on, but it's not really gonna make any difference. So I didn't do it to that side, but I did do the welding and all this and stuff. It was getting pretty smoky in here, so I had to open up the garage door and the back door, let it air out. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in my steering. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is, you can see all this slack in the spindle, and I really don't like that. It's even more on this side. It's like an inch of play, which is just terrible. So the next thing I'm going to do, tomorrow I might go out and get some 3/4 inch bushings inside diameter, with an outside diameter I think of 1 inch, but I have to take the spindles out and measure, of course. But yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed, get some rest, get up tomorrow, maybe go get some bushings, then fix this play. Alright guys, you can see it's the next day, and I've thought about it. I've taken the spindle apart. I just gotta take the grease fitting out. And this bushing just falls right out. And this bushing isn't plastic or anything, it's just on the spindle itself, it actually doesn't have that much slack. See that there's really not that much slack. But what's creating the slack is when this is inside here, you can see when the bushing is actually in the spindle housing or whatever you want to call it, this is what's creating all the slack. It's just that this isn't big enough to completely fit inside there. So what I think I'm actually going to do is just line the hole up where the grease fitting goes in, and I think I'm just going to weld this bushing in because it's a steel bushing. It's not aluminum or brass or anything, so that'll really decrease the amount of slack that's in these spindles. Then I won't have to buy anything or buy any new bushings. And plus, even if I buy new bushings, I mean, these are 3/4 inch inside and 1 inch outside. These are for my actual wheels. They still have the same amount of slack. So I think like I said, what I think I'm just going to do is just drop that in there and weld it in there. Alright, you see I got those metal bushings or spacers welded in on the top and a little bit on the bottom. The spindle has just a little bit of slack, but not nearly as much as it did before. It's not a lot compared to what it was. I also welded another brace on here that goes right to the main front axle, and then gets welded onto the frame just to make sure it's really strong and stable. I did the same to the other side, and you see I got primer on them. I don't have flat black right now, so I just use primer for now, and then I'm going to put some flat black on it. And then my steering rod over here just got primed. See, it's just drying here. And I just went to the hardware store and I got 2 C-clips. See, there's 2 of them there. There's one there and one there. But that keeps the spindle from dropping all the way through. Then I'm just going to get those on, get everything back together, and this thing will be able to drive. We'll see the difference in slack. Alright guys, you can see I just took it for a little test drive. It does really good. The wheel does not flip around anymore. The other side. Everything else is going good. Besides, actually my engine is not running right, and I need some belt keepers on my clutch because I took them off for some reason I can't remember. So the belt keeps falling. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Just, updating the Ford lawnmower, getting it to be a better machine, got the steering all braced up and stronger. I have a few other things to do. Like I said, the engine's not running right. I rebuilt the carbs 2 times and adjusted the valves. It's still doing the same thing, so I got to figure out what the heck's wrong with that. Like I said, I also got to put belt keepers on it because they took them off for some reason and I can't find them now. Kind of stupid, but that won't be a video, the belt keepers. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.